Welcome, bucketheads. All right, are you having trouble with standards, weights, and measures? I'm going to show you why. All right, we're looking at the Machinery Handbook, 20th edition, 1976. All right, our bicentennial. We got your standards here, 1 mil, all right? 1,000th of an inch. 1 micro inch, which no one really talks about, but they do talk about microns. That's equal to 1/1,000,000th of a meter. A micro inch is 1/1,000,000th of an inch, and that's even smaller than the micron. So that's interesting. People talk about mils and microns only, but your micro inch is even smaller than a micron. And what's odd is the mil, you would think million, but it's 1,000th of an inch. Why don't we just call it 1 thou, Thou? And why are we mixing standards here? We got a micro inch, so your standard, and then micron is a micrometer, which is metric. And then over here, you got your gross ton at 2240, which looks a lot like a metric ton. Gross ton, long ton, 2240. Metric ton, 2204. It's really easy to transpose those last two numbers. And you can round it up, but anytime except here, this is the only time I've ever seen it represented as 2205. Why? Wouldn't it be much easier to represent it everywhere as 2205? Because you could round it that way anyway, so as not to be confused with gross ton or long ton. You would think that. But either way, metric ton's not even in here. So that's interesting since the metric system is over here. So what does all this mean? Well, like I always say, adults are stupid, number one. And number two, you will never have a manual that I've ever found that has every standard weight and measure in some sort of a comprehensive, coherent outlay where you can make sense out of it easily. This you cannot, because they're missing things, and because of the rounding issue here. I just think that we could do better on some of this stuff. Anybody have a resource for standards, weights, and measures that has actually everything that's current or old? Like right here, you have old liquid measure, but the way that this is set up, it's too easy to get confused.